You're listening to another episode of the Coaster101 podcast. I'm Andrew Stillwell, and this week's show, we'll be honest with you, it's a little bit different. We don't have any guests. We don't have any other members of the Coaster101 team joining me. But the good news is I'm not subjecting you to my stream of consciousness thoughts like I did in Texas that one time. But no, earlier today, we headed down to Carowinds for a construction tour of the all-new Aeronautica Landing. And while construction tours don't really set themselves up as well for an auditory medium, I kind of just wanted to turn this podcast episode a little bit ASMR-ish. You get to hear the sounds of an active construction site. You'll get to hear Carowinds Director of Maintenance Steve Jackson answering questions. We'll learn all about the new attractions that are coming to Aeronautica Landing. And there will be an article up on Coaster101 that kind of is a visual accompaniment to this podcast episode. But right now, just take a seat, relax, sit back, and enjoy the sounds of Aeronautica Landing construction.
Right over here is Aeronautica, it's the old bumper car location. So it's got a new name, new theme. It's getting paint. You can already see some of the thematic elements over there. If you actually get over there, there's a lot of stuff that's inside. The columns are wrapped. We've got 50 new vehicles coming, 50 new cars to ride in that have a nice futuristic look to them. There's 4 or 5 different color schemes to it. They're not here yet. They're supposed to be here next week though. So we can share all that once it gets here. The next ride is Gear Spin, which is the one right here in front of it next to the orange building. You see that? So that's a nice little family ride there, and you've got 4 arms on it, 1 on each side. And they all spin and they're interlaced. So as they start moving, you think that they're going to hit each other, but they're not. So it's like a big clockwork if you think about it. But all 4 of them spin at the same time. It's pretty cool ride. Watch videos of it. I can't wait to ride. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, the far ride over here is called Air Racer. The top one with the propeller on the top. And it spins, and then it's got the vehicles that are actually on arms that rock back and forth as it spins. So, there again, that's a very fun ride. And then we have Airwalker, which is the little skater ride right here. You see, so it travels the track back and forth, and the vehicle spins on it. So they're all family-oriented rides. We've got the three gray rides already put up and assembled. So we still have electrical work to do on them, and we're looking to hopefully start those up in March. And,
do you want to talk about our Terminal A restaurant? And walk into the space and let them see some stuff up there?
Sure. Okay. So up here on the side of the building used to be called Country Kitchen. We built a bar up there we call Terminal A Bar. It's got outdoor seating, it's got indoor seating, it's got a full service bar inside, restrooms, and then outside you've got a nice terrace patio with steps that you can go up and down. It'll have you can see the supports out there. It'll have a shade structure outside. It should be a very nice placemaking area for us that people can gather and just have a good time. It's also at the top of the hill. You've got a great view of Aeronautica Landing. This space right here is for a ride that doesn't have a name yet. So once we get a name, we'll let y'all know what that is. There's another ride that goes right there, and it should be here sometime in April or May. We've got another ride going back over there, and it is Gyro Force. I go by the the ride manufacturer's name, so I've got two sets of names. So Gyroforce is going right over here, right behind the building there next to the basketball game. So there's another ride going back there. Let's see. Construction-wise, what you're seeing out here, there's a lot of foundation work going on. They're working on the Founders Icon area right here. So there's a big wing structure that goes in there. It's the Founders Icon, and then there's seat walls around. It's kind of a meet and greet gathering plaza. Let's see. What else?
You want to go ahead and take a look at the space?
Yeah, let's go on over here and we'll take a look.
All right, you don't want to, does everybody want to go? Are you okay?
We've kind of got a trail cut right here, so if you see me sink down, don't step there. We'll take a different way. Close enough if you want to touch it. It's okay. So the way this ride operates, you can see when you load this ride, it's in this configuration, then they have to rotate it, and then they load the other pod, and then it starts spinning. So it spins around and around and up and down. So the pods stay parallel to the ground. So it rotates this way. We're going to open the area in mid-spring. Yeah, we don't have an exact date. Our 50th anniversary is March 31st. We'll be 50 years old. So we've got a year-long celebration going on for that. And we're currently open right now on Saturdays and Sundays. So you can come out, buy your season passes now, and enjoy it now. There's a lot of theming elements out here. So it's a very nicely themed area.
Remind me the name of this one?
Cairspin. Down behind the game, there's another attraction over there. Yep. Correct. Yeah. The theater is going to get a little bit of a makeover on the outside. We're trying to figure out what to do. So there's lots of ideas out there, and once we get all this area set up, we'll go back and set a little bit of that. And it comes down to resources. Yeah, that's right.
Days of Thunder, if you can bring that back now with Tom Cruise, that'd be good.
That would be really good.
You can't call it that. Yeah.
No. Well, we could. It costs us a little bit of money.
That is a good point.
Just a little bit of money, we can do it.
Just get it sponsored, right?
That's right. Okay. So over in Dodge. Yeah, this is the bumper car. Dodge. We got it right back here. And we got Air Racer, Air Walker. have. You know, they have to go through that whole vetting process. And we thought we had a good name, and then somebody said, no. But it'll have an aeronautical theme to it. Something to do with airplanes, flight, something like that. I can guarantee that.
All joking aside, does the ground today make it easier for these guys because they don't have to do a lot of hard digging, or is it they're so used to these conditions that it doesn't?
This is normal conditions, okay. But what you will find over here is if you were here at 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning, they put a bunch of pumps in these puddles and they de-water. That way they can keep working now, because otherwise it would be
water would be standing up.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So wow. that's key to any construction site. Okay. Is when you have this kind of rain, is to actually de-water. Okay. Every day or all the time. And what that does, you know, when we walked across here, it wasn't that muddy, right? Right. It looked like it was going to be really bad. Well, if you let the site go and don't de-water, it does get really bad. Huh. So that's one thing that Southside is known for, is actually taking care of their sites. Because in the end, what do? You get construction done faster because you don't have to wait on nature to take care of the water. You pump it out, and then now the sun that's out now will help you out tremendously. So no, this is normal. They've actually, there was a gravel truck that came in, so they're starting over there with the hard surfaces. They're actually putting gravel down now. Okay. And this is, if you look at the Founders icon there, where you see the wood trim around the top of it, about 4 inches, that's where the hard surface is. Okay. That's where we'll finish out. So it's going to go uphill just a little bit. So what they did is they left basically 12 to 14 inches of just dirt in here. And that's what we've been mucking around on. So then when they get ready to do the hard surfaces, they pull that out, put the gravel down, and then put the hard surfaces. That way, typically 12 to 14 inches to protect whatever down. Okay. So now all of a sudden they pull that dirt down, this stuff down, we're just go. Fast and running. You got to be smart about it. It's outside construction. Yeah, they're the GC on the job. They've been doing work out here since we did the dinosaurs. I think their first job out here was 2013, 2014. Good group, excellent group to work with.
You know how many approximately, how big their team is out here working on this right now?
We've had as many as 110 contractors out here. Okay. Working on it, but it changes from day to day. But yeah, they've had as many as 110. There's probably 60 or 70 out here today. Okay. Perfect. It's usually when they have the big concrete pours. That's usually when they have to ramp up and get a bunch of people out here, finishers and all that. So.
Perfect.
Is there any concern about the weather moving forward? Because I know we're looking for a rainy week, and I know there's been a lot of pretty rainy weather.
Weather is always a consideration. But just we've got rain in the forecast for the next through Friday, right? Every day. Well, it didn't slow them down. You come, you do what you need to do. You de-water. If it rains, it rains. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If you can work, you work. If you can't, then you're working on Saturday or Sunday. Okay. So we've opened the site up for Saturday and Sunday work. And if it rains, if you lose a day during the week, you got to make it up sometime, because push comes to shove, our schedule doesn't change. We still have dates. That's right, yeah. Actually doing a 12-month operation is great challenge for us, but it's basically we had to put up some extra fence. We have to make sure that we maintain our sites on the weekend, that those fences stay in place, and that people don't get over here in this area. So it's really more like if you were in art versus Henry Trevor. So it's tighten up a little bit. You want to get the next round of the gate operation over to the ticket shelter and have them coming that way so we can start the construction out there. So we've been able to pivot and learn from those experiences and been successful.
You want to take them over to Airwalker right now?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, we'll get Airwalker.
Steve, while we're walking, you know, how is this compared to other, I know you've been here a while, how is this compared to other, you know, big expansions the park has done for you guys? Has there been a lot, I mean, there's been stuff, but has there been a lot on this scale?
You know, this is a whole new area.
Yeah.
So it kind of compares to when we did, originally did Wayne's World. You know, we added an area to the park. This is technically this is the third set of products that we actually put in this area, but actually it helps when you blow everything up and kind of start over.
Right.
It really, we've learned a lot over the years, and sometimes that is the best thing to do.
Right.
Is just go ahead and clear it all out and start over. Not try to reuse some stuff. You actually end up with a faster schedule and usually less money if you'll just go ahead and start over.
Okay.
And most of that's the stuff that you never see. You know, all the underground utilities and storm drains in the water and
right.
gas lines and fiber optic lines, all that stuff. Okay, so what they're putting up here, this is the part of the shade structure. All right. They call it the wind thing. Yep. Everything's got a name up here. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is
How close did you want to get?
it's up to you.
Want to get a little closer?
Yeah, if we can.
Okay, it's a little bit tricky.
That's okay. I'll get the video. Just a bit.
Careful.
Yep. I got it. Yep, we're good.
Okay.
Right, squeeze.
Yep, you can step down.
Yep.
You want to get closer, we can get closer, okay?
That's how we're able to do something.
Correct. Otherwise, we have to lock the ride out.
Okay.
So right now, I know it's secure. It's not going to hurt. You can get closer. So what happens is, it goes back and forth. Up and down like this, and then this vehicle spins as it rocks back and forth. So it's called Airwalker. The general theme to this is that you know, people used to wing walk on planes. That's kind of the story behind this one. You know, I'm not the greatest storyteller in the world, so I give you the basics, and you can write and make up what you want.
Don't sell yourself short on the storytelling.
All right, excellent. This is going to be the perimeter fence for it. It'll have water mesh. You'll be able to see through it. It's not a real dense fence, but it's enough to keep people out. We're going to try to look at it as much as we can, but the unnamed ride over here, it won't be here until April or May, so we know it's not going to, we're going to try to get everything else open before it gets here.
Okay.
Just so you know.
I walked down to that end and get it closer to the end. I know it's using the...
How are we going to, let's go out here and walk that way, okay? I'm not sure you want to
Do that.
go through all that.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't. But I'd rather have something that didn't have it blocked.
Right. That is going to be an impressive ride when it starts spinning and rocking back and forth.
What is that one again?
That's called the Air Racer.
Air Racer.
Yeah, and see the big cones here. You know, they put the big cones up when they're doing biplane races and stuff like that. That's what that's all about. So they've done a really good job with the theming on this. They've actually focused on the theming aspects of it greatly. Probably more so than we've done in another area in a long, long time. I think the boardwalk may have been the last time that we actually did theming to this level.
Why is the theming so important?
It's placemaking, it's experiences, it's something that we're trying to focus on now. Instead of just being an amusement park, trying to be a theme park. You know, and this is how you do it. It's about the whole experience, not just the rides.
What's it been like working with Zamperla?
You know, Zamperla has grown a lot in the past few years. Zamperla is really good to work with.
Yeah.
When it came time to do all the theming and whatnot, a lot of this is done at their shop. You know, like with the stuff that's actually on the rides themselves. They actually did all that, so they're real good to work with and very accommodating. You know, they'll tell you straight up if they can do something or if they can't and they've never done it before. You give them a little bit of time, they'll figure it out pretty quick whether they can do it or not. So all this stuff they've been pretty much, well, everything's here they said yes to. The stuff they said no to, you'll never see. So, but I would say 90% of the stuff that we asked for, they made happen.
Is it one of those you ask big and then like when they say negotiations, you ask for everything and then you scale it back? Or
no, we're paying for it all.
So you're reasonable.
So,
though. I'm saying
it's like the designers will come up with something. They may say, I want this big, and they say, I can't give you that big, but I can give you this big.
Yeah.
So it's
more than halfway.
Yeah. You work. The thing is, you work together with them, and it really makes a difference. But they're great partners. Great partners. And I don't know if you know, Zamperla's actually getting into the big. They're in the big ride business now. They make roller coasters and all kinds of stuff now.
They do.
So.
What would you call? I know you talked about theming, but this is a new, not a new land at the park, but a new what in the park? How would
we're actually considered a new land.
A new land.
Yeah, because we basically ripped it all out.
Right.
The only thing that we've kept was the Dodge, the bumper cars. Hover and Dodge now. That's really the only thing that we kept in here.
And will that keep the same name? I'm sure you probably told me that or said it before.
Hover and Dodge.
That will be the new name.
That'll be the new name. Yep.
And the cars will be futuristic or yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
And when they get here, I'm sure we can send pictures.
Yeah,
you can come back out and tell you all that's we can share.
Okay, that's great. Yeah,
and we've got 50 cars instead of 30 cars.
Okay.
So we used to have 30 cars in there, but it was designed for 50. So we're going to go ahead and maximize the number of riders that we can put in there.
What's going in between Hover and Dodge and the basketball game here? There's two games going in there. Okay.
One of them is like a tightrope walk game.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and we're actually going to build it here, so I'm not going to tell you all the intricacies of it because I haven't built it yet. So I've got pictures I need to execute.
Oh,
but what I'm trying to take it to the next level. So the original concept was you walked on a pipe.
Okay.
But I actually want to walk on a cable.
Yeah.
So I've got some ideas. I'm working with the guys in the welding shop right now on how to accomplish that. So even if it's just welding a cable on top of a pipe or a vertical beam. So it's just trying to. I need just about another week, and I'll be good.
All right.
Yeah.
I like that.
So it's an opportunity for us to do a little bit of creative stuff here at the park. Try to make things a little bit better than more interesting, instead of walking on a pipe, if I can get you to walk on a cable, now it's really tight rope, you know.
Now you got the people, the wing walkers.
Yeah, that's right.
So.
Just trying to take it to the next level because we can.
Get some of this stuff too, if that helps.
Perfect. And then that structure to the left of the basketball, is that the right entrance for the... It's got the jump?
There's the game going in there also.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so there's a game going in next to the basketball, and the entrance to the ride is right here where the exit for the theater used to be. It's right there.
Perfect.
So basically, where the entrance for Thunder Road used to be, that's where that ride is.
Got it.
So conceptually, there you go.
Boy, Steve, it's amazing what this looked like beforehand and what it looks like now. Y'all got a lot in this space.
Yep.
There's just the swings here, right? What's the swings over there?
Yeah, we're real close. Yes.
Okay. And then you had the old Friendzoid or the Southern Star.
Correct.
And then that was it, right? Here,
some games.
And some games. Yeah.
We had 3 games in the middle.
This is a good capped space for y'all. Like unused, wasted space, not wasted space, but you know what I mean.
It was time to.
Unutilized. That's right.
It was time to kind of scrape the ground and start over. And these are all family rides.
Sure.
So when we did Copperhead Strike and the gliders, those are both family rides.
Sure. Oh yeah.
They're not teenagers and adults. This is supposed to be kind of obviously someone was doing some master planning here. This was actually planned. The planning started before the pandemic. When the pandemic came, we put it on the shelf. And then we were ready to start again. We pulled it back out, finished the design, and then started ordering the rides and all that.
Great.
We almost had the rides ordered before the pandemic, and we pushed the pause button. So it wasn't real hard to crank things back up. It takes a while to get this stuff now because everything's shut down. Now it's restarting everything.
All right, Steve, I think we're going to switch out rooms. Everybody got everything?
Okay. Y'all get what you needed?
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
I think the easiest might be the way you came.
So before we switch out him, can we go ahead and interview him real quick? Is that fine? Do you just want to do it here, Ryan?
Yeah, that works.
Is that fine, Steve, or would you like to go a place where...
I think right here.
Yes, okay, that's fine.
Sure.
Okay, that's fine, yeah.
If you guys are good, we'll take you guys out. I love that you have a pen and paper.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm still old school in that regard.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. So
You're going to ask me a question, and I'm going to answer.
You don't have to be exactly right.
Following you.
Jackson, your official product.
Back in the studio. We really appreciate you kind of coming on that auditory journey of the Hard Hat Tour at Aeronautica Landing at Carowinds with us today. Aeronautica Landing is going to open up later this spring, and construction was in full swing when we were there for sure, and it's going to be just such an amazing area. But head to Coaster101.com. There's going to be an article up on the website, like we mentioned earlier, that is just going to have kind of the visual accompaniment to this podcast episode and kind of show some of the things we talked about that are under construction. A lot of the rides are in right now, and but if you listen closely, there was some really good information that Steve Jackson was talking about. Rides coming. There's another ride, which I believe is a Wind Stars from Zamperla that doesn't even have a name yet. So it's coming. But again, Aeronautica Landing opens later this spring. That's going to do it for this week's episode of the Coaster 101 podcast. If you're not already, make sure you're following us on social media at Coaster 101. That's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. If there's social media, we're probably on it at that handle. Also, head to Coaster101.com. If you don't want to see the visual accompaniment, just go. There's a lot of good articles to read, so go give those a look and check those out. Make sure you're liking, rating, reviewing, subscribing, and telling your friends to listen to the podcast. And the more we do that, we will keep doing this show. So we love those 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So please keep those coming. Thanks, as always, to Justin Mabry of JMMD Entertainment, who has provided the theme song for this podcast. And we will talk to y'all again soon. See ya.